Darlington Raceway is stock number 26 on the Castrol GTX Cup Series for season 18 as we're set for the running of the Mountain Dew Southern 500 as we're set for 56 laps of action on this track Too Tough to Tame as it is known here, and we're under the lights for this event the way it should be here at Darlington. So after a very wild and wacky race we had at Bristol, Tennessee, though, we are looking forward to some great action here today at Darlington, and here's the starting for today's running of the event. On the pole at 171 miles an hour in a 1985 Ford, Jessica Shelton, looking to do what Bill Elliott did at this race back in 1985 and in 88 and in 94, and that's win the event here. Jessica, by the way, is the defending champion and also a four-time winner so far this season. She'll be flanked by Jordan Lopez, number 16, the Halpern Chevrolet. He's on the outside. Second row is nothing but Chevrolet. Ryan Kazee in number 12, the Budweiser Chevrolet, and Ashland Boyd, two-time winner this season so far. His wins came at New Hampshire and the 400 down in Daytona. He's in the 55 Copenhagen Chevy. Third row is nothing but Buick. It's number 8, the Miller American Buick of Patrick Smith. He won the race down in Dover this season. He'll be flanked by the 600 winner of Charlotte, Zachary Fitzwater, and his Skull Bandit Chevrolet, a Skull Bandit Buick number 33. Next row down has Becca Tellier, number 21, the Hodgdon Ford, looking for a Darlington sweep. She won here back in the spring, by the way. And she'll be flanked by Phil Parker, number 5, the Levi Garrett Chevrolet, still looking for that first win of the season. He's on the outside of the fourth row. Row 5 has Zach Winkle, number 11, the Budweiser Chevrolet. He'll be flanked by number 22, Dylan Poteet, in the Miller Highlight Buick, car number 22. Row 6 has car number 6, Michael Whitman in the Strolight Ford, and he'll be alongside Jesse Turner, number 13, the CTE Ford. His best finish this season was a second at the spring race at Bristol. He'll be alongside Zed. Here, next row down, number 7 has Zed Weinstein in car number 70, the AC Spark Plus Humble Furniture Pontiac. And he'll be alongside number 88, the Gatorade Buick of Jonathan Zorlin. He's on the outside. Next row down has Kyle Matthews, number 29, the Hardee's Oldsmobile. Has 2 wins so far this season at North Wilkesboro and again at Michigan. He'll be alongside one of our in-car cameras, Seth Cole, number 52, the Folger Chevrolet. Next row down has Chelsea Bowles, number 74, the Superior Piping Nelson Contracting Chevrolet. Her best finish was a second at Michigan. And she'll be alongside Paul Minnick in the Piedmont Chevrolet, number 44. He'll be alongside. Next row down has our second in-car camera. It's Dylan Young, the Pepsi Kroger Chevrolet, car number 2. He won the night race down in Bristol, Tennessee, the last race we brought to you on the tour. He'll be alongside number 14, Copenhagen Chevrolet Oldsmobile of Tony Newman. Next row down has Johnny Gardner, number 35, the Folgers Decaf Chevrolet, and Charles Sanford, 4-time winner this season so far in the Country Time Pontiac, car number 30, coming off a nasty crash he had at Bristol. Next row down has the California winner, Kat Tellier, number 7, the Xerox Antifreeze Ford, and she'll be alongside number 4, the Kodak Film Oldsmobile of William Bruck. He's on the outside. That car will be a Chevrolet next season by way of the Cup Series. Next row down, we'll have Alexander Rowe, number 51, the Valvoline Oldsmobile, and Joshua Collard, number 43, the STP Pontiac for King Richard Petty. Next row down has Emmanuel Hartnett, number 83, the Daytona 500 champion, and the wins came our Oldsmobile, and he'll be alongside the Quaker State Buick, car number 26. It's Quentin Moore. He's on the outside. Next row down, we'll have car number 47, the Race Hill Farms Buick of Joshua Sakuli, and he'll be alongside Kyle Langley, number 27, the Kodiak Pontiac. Next row down has our third in-car camera, Keith Batson, number 20, Texaco Haviland Ford. He has 2 wins this season, coming at Michigan and again on the road course at Sonoma. And he'll be alongside number 75, the Valvoline Pontiac of Max Anderson. He's on the outside. Next row down has Trent Dunham, the defending series champion, number 1, the Bullseye Barbecue Sauce Chevrolet, and the Red Baron Frozen Pizza Ford, car number 90 of Ryan Winters. Next row down we'll have Cole Deaver, number 3, the GM Goodwrench Chevrolet, and number 15, the Motorcraft Ford of Jason Haywood. His win came at the Brickyard 400 this season. Next row down we'll have 2-time winner this season, Joshua Osborne, number 25, the Folger Chevrolet. His wins came at Martinsville and again on the road course at Watkins Glen. Here comes Command the Fire the engines, by the way.
Drivers, start those engines!
That's the way to get a race going. Alongside Osborne would be car number 17, Ryan George in the Tide Chevrolet. His win came at Rockingham. And starting on the last row will be the Talladega winner, Mike Becker in the STP Buick, car number 42. And number 71, Kev Shear. He won here at Darlington before. And he's in the Buck Stove Oldsmobile. His car number is 71. So again, Dylan Young, Joshua. So again, Dylan Young, Seth Cole, and I forget who the forget. Yeah, again, Dylan Young and Seth Cole and Charles Sanford will have in-car cameras in today's event at Darlington Raceway. No, Dylan Young, Seth Cole, and Keith Batson will have in-car cameras in today's event. Excuse me on that one. So Jessica Shelton, who won this race last season, holding off Emmanuel Hartnett as her first and believe it or not, only win she's had in the big races. And that would be the Southern 500, the 600 at Charlotte, the Daytona 500, and the Brickyard 400, and the Pepsi 400. That would be the big races on the season for these cars. So let's see what happens here. Becca Tellier, by the way, in the 21 car we mentioned, going for the Darlington sweep. Shelton, by the way, also leads the points coming in this race by 94 over Charles Sanford, who starts this race on the outside of row number 9, I believe. The green flag race, we're back. We are underway here at Darlington. Ryan Kazee on the inside, car number 12, looking for the second position. He's got it on Jordan Lopez as they come off the second turn. And now a pair of red cars are in the front two spots with Jessica Shelton taking the number 1 spot. That car of hers very, very fast. It's an 85 Thunderbird she's driving at this event, kind of paying homage to the Winston Million car that Bill Elliott drove, except in this case, the number 9 car is not put on backwards as it was on the Elliott car back then. But anyway, Ashlyn Boyd now gets the second position. Third is now Patrick Smith. Battling for fourth, trying to stay in fourth is Ryan Kazee along with Becca Tellier. So coming out, and now the Junior Johnson cars are together, the 12 and the 11. That's Kazee and Zach Winkle. And several wall scrapers coming off turn number 4. You'll see that a lot at Darlington, getting their Darlington stripes, as they call them here, except they usually get them in turn 2 and not turn 4. Go through turns 1 and 2 here at Darlington, which is really a flat-out turn almost. You have to let off a little bit going into the turn. But this is where you have to really climb on the binders going into the third turn. And the third and fourth turns very short. It's shorter than the first and second turns pairing, I should say. Simply because there was a pond somewhere and they didn't want to get in the way of the pond. So that's how they built this track back in 1950. This is the second oldest, or actually third oldest track we run on the Castrol GTX Cup Series. The other two are North Wilkesboro, which was built in 1949, and Martinsville, which was built in 1947. As the battle for the lead ensuing right now, here comes Ashlyn Boyd in 55 to the inside of Jessica Shelton looking for the lead. And Shelton tries to pour on the power, but Boyd has too much of a run on her as they come down to turn number 1. And it's Ashlyn Boyd to the number 1 position now, number 55. And Becca Tellier, who's, like I said, going for the Darlington sweep. She's going for second position as Shelton's now hung up on the high side of the track. Ryan Kazee getting back in the mix here. Phil Parker, number 5. He's one of the guys to watch here today. He's been right there knocking on the door. Possibly getting his first win. I don't know here. We'll see if it happens this season or not, but Phil Parker looking pretty strong here in the mid to late stages of the season. And you also got Zed Weinstein, number 70 in the mix. He almost won down in Watkins Glen this season, only to get loose off the last turn coming to the yellow and white flags and lose the lead and the race to Joshua Osborne. But Weinstein right now running in 8th position, looking pretty strong here so far as he goes underneath Shelton, who still cannot get down on the low side of the racetrack here. And as good as that car is, though, she may be back to about, I don't know how far back. Now Dylan Poteet now goes up underneath Shelton as a battle of the Dylans are happening. Poteet in the 22 car, and the man whom you are on board with, Dylan Young, in number 2. the Kroger Pepsi Chevrolet, who won the last race on the tour at Bristol, Tennessee, and the night race over there. And Dylan will tell you it's one of his big wins. As the change for lead has happened, Becca Tellier led the last time by now, and now Zach Winkle is going to go for the lead number 11. As you're watching on this from Dylan Young's perspective. And off the wall goes the 55 of Ashlyn Boyd. And Zach Winkle takes the lead, but here comes Phil Parker, number 5. But the Junior Johnson cars are hooked up, the 11 and the 12. And somebody's got something wrong with the cars. I don't know who's... Somebody was slowing down on the apron of the racetrack here. And it's William Brock in number 4 who has got problems. Apparently the engine blowing up on the number 4 Kodak Film Oldsmobile. That's an 87 Oldsmobile he's driving here. And yeah, that car is actually too slow to be given down pit road. Something apparently a miss on the number 4 Kodak Film machine. William Brock, who actually one of the drivers knocking on the door of that top 10 in the points chase, and he has not yet won a race this season, but Brock is out now. So William Brock, first retiree of this race, and it was a valve problem that nailed the number 4 Kodak Film Oldsmobile. Fast lap of the race so far is Jordan Lopez at just over 179 miles per hour. They qualified at 171. For this event, we have been caution-free so far. It's Junior Johnson out in front there. The number 12 and the 11 cars. Zach Winkle running right behind Ryan Kazee in number 12. Kazee has yet to win a race in his career in this series. Zach Winkle does have a win in his career. That came a couple seasons back over in Pocono. Phil Parker running in third position in another Chevrolet, and then you got a Ford behind him fourth with Becca Tellier, one of the KAB Enterprises machines. As we're early on here at Darlington, South Carolina so far, as we've completed 12 of 56 laps, and still 38 laps to go. Or actually still 44 laps to go, excuse me. My math is horrible, so there you go. Zach Winkle now takes the lead here as the front 3 cars have passed Ryan Kazee. Kazee now drops the 4th position. Here comes Phil Parker to the inside, number 5. Phil Parker, car number 5. He and Zach Winkle touch going into number 1, but maintains control, and Parker takes the number 1 position now, number 5. He's got a fast car here today. Could this be the day he might win one? Well, we'll find out here in about the last 43 laps of this race here. Dylan Potey runs 5th position. 6th is Jessica Shelton. 7th is Dylan Young. 8th is now Zed Weinstein. Going 9th right now is Chelsea Bowles. And running in 10th position, trying to stay in 10th is Michael Whitman. But Jonathan Zorlin takes his spot away, as now Zorlin takes the number 10 position now with Jordan Lopez, Zachary Fitzwater, and Seth Cole in the number 52 car. And you're riding with Seth Cole now in the 52 Folgers Chevrolet. Seth driving a 1987 Monte Carlo. Let's see how fast Seth Cole goes through the draft here on the 1 and 2. 177 miles an hour off the second turn. And then turn number 3 at 189, 190 miles per hour in turn number 3. And slows it down to 163 miles per hour. That's where the speed drops off a little bit, lap speed wise. And as he goes down in turn number 1, cross-start finish line about 175 miles an hour, down to 182 miles an hour in turn number 1. Last time by percent, 176.695 miles per hour. His fastest lap at 178.7. So Seth riding right now a solid 13th position at the moment. As we look at the rest of the field here, Johnny Gardner in 14th right now. Michael Whitman 15th. 16th right now is Patrick Smith. 17th, Emmanuel Hartnett. 18th right now is Jesse Turner. 19th is Paul Minnick. And 20th is Kyle Matthews, who dropped out of the top 10, I think, coming after the race at Bristol, the last race on the tour. Got into a couple of wrecks, and the man behind him is actually second in points. That's Charles Sanford. four-time winner of the season in the country time Pontiac. He's now running in 21st, trying to hold off the challenge of Joshua Sekuli and Keith Batson. And that's the in-car shot from Keith Batson's machine. He won the season at the first race at Michigan. He also won the second road course stop on the tour at Sonoma. And Batson came in this race, I think, in the top 10 in the point chase, trying to knock on the door of the top 5 coming into this race here at Darlington. Batson running in 23rd position right now as he's trying to get by the Buick of Joshua Sekuli, who also is trying to get around Charles Sandberg. If he can get up underneath the 30 car, they can try to hook up with each other and try to knock Sandberg back a couple of positions. But yeah, Keith Morris riding back there saying, "This is fun, guys. Let me join in." But anyway, Batson running 23rd at the moment right now, and we got a new leader at the moment. Car number 9, Jessica Shelton, back up front. Last time we talked about her, she was running in 6th position, so apparently some horsepower that number 9 course melling Ford as she's taking the lead now. Phil Parker 2nd. 3rd is Dylan Young. Trying for 2nd now is Dylan Young. And going 4th at the moment now is Zed Weinstein at number 70, the J.D. McDuffie special, with Becca Tellier running in 5th position. But back to what I was saying about this trio right there, they're now closing up on Emmanuel Hartnett, who now runs in 20th at the moment. Not good news over Charles Sandberg. Jessica Shelton's taking the lead because he closed in on Shelton, or actually lost some ground on Shelton points-wise after Bristol. And Sandberg trying to gain some points on her in search for his 2nd championship. Sekuli, as we said, 22nd position. Batson 23rd. Tony Newman 24th. Kat Tellier in the 7th car. She was in the top 5 coming into Bristol. Dropped a few positions. She's now 25th. Ashlyn Boyd dropped to 26th position. He led some in the early stages of the race. He's dropped back here. Jason Haywood's 27th. Joshua Osborne in 28th position. That car definitely set up miss on the 25 Folgers machine. Max Anderson 29th. 30th is Ryan Winters. 31st. Coming back from the 39th start position, that's Mike Becker. Kyle Langland in 32nd. 33rd is Ryan George. 34th is Alexander Rowe. Cab Shearer 35th. 36th is Quentin Moore. 36th is Joshua Collard. Trent Dunham in 38th position. And Cole Deaver. Definitely not a good run for him in that number 3 machine. He has fallen back to 39th. As we said, the 40 position right now belonging to William Brock, who is out of the race with a valve problem. But back up front, it is Jessica Shelton showing the way at Darlington with now 31 laps to go. 2nd position is Phil Parker. 3rd is Dylan Young. Going 4th is Becca Tellier. I always get the Tellier screwed up. Zachary Fitzwater's in 5th position, and Dylan Poteet is running in 6th position. Poteet with a much-needed good run here so far today. In fact, a couple of the drivers in this mix needing some good runs here. Poteet, Fitzwater, and Parker in the number 5 machine. If Phil can get a win, that would be huge for him, too, in the number 5 Levi Garrett Chevrolet. He is up on the back bumper of that number 9 car that most people dread the race in this series, but as you can tell, Phil Parker not intimidated at all by all these drivers in this field. Dylan Young looking for his 3rd win in the 2nd win in a row in the number 2 machine. He's in 3rd. 4th, as we said, is Tellier. 5th is Fitzwater. Poteet 6th. 7th is Zed Weinstein. Jordan Lopez up to the 8th position. 9th is Johnny Gardner. And Zach Winkle running 10th with Michael Whitman 6th. Car running in 11th, excuse me. Patrick Smith's 12th. 13th is matching his car numbers, Jesse Turner. Kyle Matthews up to 14th position, so he's moved up nicely through the field. 15th is his buddy Seth Cole. And the Folgers Chevrolet, they go back on board Seth Cole's machine. trying to dive underneath Kyle Matthews in the Hardy's Oldsmobile. And you see how high they turn the RPMs here at Darlington, up to about almost 9,000 RPMs. And up to about 8,600 in the turn number 1. And now Seth really flooring the throttle now, up to about 8,900 RPMs in the turn number 3. And down about 7,500 in the middle of 1 and 2. And whoa! The middle of 3 and 4, excuse me. Matthews off the wall. Here comes Emmanuel Harton to the inside now. In the 83 machine, there he is. And Matthews drops a couple of positions, so he was in 14th, now he's running in 17th at the moment. So Seth Cole takes the 14th position away as we look at the rest of the field right there. Chelsea Bowles in 18th position right now. 19th is Kat Tellier, and Ashlyn Boyd's now moved up to the 20th position in the 55 car. So some positions being exchanged here in the past the middle stages of the event. Ryan Kazee, who is the one of the top 5 starters in the field, though, at Darlington, he is running in 25th, so he's fallen off a bit. Keith Batson in 26th right now, or actually, make that 23rd for Kazee. 24th is Batson. Sakuli's 25th, and 26th is actually being held by Batson's teammate, Jason Haywood. And one car dropping back. That's the 25 of Joshua Osborne. Last time we talked about him, he was 25th, and now he is running back in the 36th position. Make that 38th because he'll get passed by both Mike Becker and the 75 of Max Anderson. So Joshua Osborne, I would say, does not want to bring that car back to the next time we go to Darlington next season. But the frantic chase of the red and white number 9 is still going on. Jessica Shelton still out in front, though, as we're about to catch the 33 car, Cole Deaver, who is running in the middle in the 3 and 4. Shelton is now approaching the exit of turn 4, as a matter of fact. Deaver's about over a half a straightaway ahead of Shelton. And as fast as Jess's car is, though, that might not be long before she catches Cole. And sometimes lap cars can play in the hands of the drivers behind the leader, like, as we said, for instance, Phil Parker and Becca Tellier. One going for his first ever career victory in the series, and the other going for a Darlington sweep. While Shelton, if she wins this event, will get her 5th win of the season. Believe it or not. Her and Charles Never, as we said, the only 2 that's won 4 so far this season. Shelton's wins, we mentioned, Shelton's wins came at Bristol, the day race at Bristol, Texas, Pocono, and Richmond. Where, in fact, they'll be heading to next on the tour. It'll be for the second stop over there at that D-shaped 3/4 mile in Virginia. But right now, Phil Parker keeping it very close there. Deaver's coming out of the second turn now. We'll switch to our copter cam. There is Deaver off turn number 4. And Jess is closing up in that 9 car. We'll see. Yep, they're in the same picture now. And now Jess catching a snip. Jess catches a snip of the draft off that number 3 machine of Cole Deaver, and they have closed up on the back bumper of him. And Shelton used that lap car as a pick there, and whoa, her and Deaver touch, and she says thank you very much. And Cole Deaver goes to second position. In the meantime, Phil Parker held off Becca Tellier, who went to the inside of Parker for second, but to no avail. And unfortunately for Deaver, he's now falling a lap down in 39th position. So Cole Deaver, another guy I'm sure who wants to trash the setup he had at Darlington for this event. Fitzwater remains fourth. Jordan Lopez now in fifth, and Dylan Young up to the sixth position as you're now on board the number 2 of Dylan Young. He runs in sixth at the moment. And Phil Parker got loose. He saw up on the high side of the track here as he now drops back a few positions. Now Young up to fifth position now. And it's Becca Tellier who knows is now going to try to catch that 9 of Shelton. Fitzwater now takes third. Lopez now takes fourth. Here comes Fitzwater as he sticks the nose that green and white Buick to the inside now of Tellier. And he'll take second. And now Fitzwater now... Let's see if he can catch Shelton in the 9. Margin of 0.3 of a second, almost 0.4 of a second the last time by between the 9 and the 33 cars. Now the front 6 cars have lined up single file here. Meantime, Cole Deaver still can't get his car off the high side of the racetrack here. It's now Johnny Gardner was inside. Now Weinstein will get by Zach Winkle in the 11. Seth Cole's machine again. We're riding along with him. As Seth now has the preferred line to the inside lane as he now follows Patrick Smith in the 8. See where that puts Seth here after things shake up. He's got his buddy Dylan Poteet behind him in the 22 machine. As Seth now makes his way up to the 10th position. He's now in the top 10. Already almost down to 10 laps to go here at Darlington. So this race has flown by very quickly. They're averaging 174.4 miles an hour. And Fitzwater lost lost the 100th the last time by, but now Jordan Lopez in the 16 now moves to the number 2 position now. Here comes Dylan Young to the inside. As these two have a draft forming right now in the 16 and the 2 machines to see if they we'll see if they have anything for the number 9 now. Nobody has yet in the late stages of the race. Shelton's got one fast race car right now. Dylan Young to the inside. He'll try to take Lopez up high. Lopez keeps that car on the high on the racetrack here, and he'll cut right in front of Young. Front 3 cars, excuse me, within less than 0.4 of a second at the moment here as Dylan Young moves against to the inside of Lopez. Jordan Lopez now close to with a less than 0.3 of a second now on Dylan Young. Now they're side by side. I don't know if I want to be doing that in this late stage of the race, trying to catch the leader. And now he'll have Zachary Fitzwater on the inside of him now, or shoving him. And that lets Shelton pull it ahead again. Now they're just over a half a second. So it's Ford trying to hold up a slew of GM products, 3 Chevys and a Buick. That's what's second through fifth at the moment right now. They have pulled ahead a bunch to the sixth place runner, which is Patrick Smith. Seth Cole is now to seventh position as he's now continuing his charge through the field here. And here comes Seth back to the inside of Smith for the sixth position now. Poteet's in eighth position. Ninth is Tellier, Becca Tellier, that is. And Johnny Gardner up to 10th place right now. With Zach Winkle 11th, Michael Whitman 12th. Weinstein, who was in the top 10, is now dropped to 13th, make that 15th now. As Chelsea Bowles and Kyle Matthews are about ready to slide by him. And now watch Weinstein go backwards. Whoa, that was close by Keith Batson. Just about center punch the 70 car. Batson goes by. Charles Sanford goes by in the 30 machine. And now Seth Cole takes sixth position away now from the 8 of Patrick Smith. And here comes Poteet to the inside as one Miller car passes another. Johnny Gardner will now get by Becca Tellier, and he might also get by Smith if he could. Down the backstretch, let's see what happens when he steps for turn 3. Smith again up the track, and he almost gets the wall. In fact, he does get the wall. Patrick Smith off the wall of turn number 4. But meantime, this is a battle for the win. Dylan Young. Does he have anything for that number 9 of Jessica Shelton? Nobody has for the much of the last half of the race. But they don't have far to go. They're coming out for 2 laps to go. .1600ths of a second the last time by between positions 1 and 2. Fitzwater to the inside of Dylan Young now. Young drops back just a little bit, or Shelton pulling ahead, whichever is happening. Through turns 3 and 4. Let's see what happens off the 4th turn. The white flag is out. 1 lap to go here in the Mountain Dew Southern 500. Does any of those 4 have anything for that number 9 car? Dylan Young dropping back, though, as he almost gets the wall here. Fitzwater now hooking up to the back bumper. 1 last chance in the 3rd turn. Young closed up a little bit through the 3rd and 4th turn, but I don't think it's going to happen. No, it will not happen. Young closes in a little bit too late. Car number 9, Jessica Shelton, wins the Mountain Dew Southern 500 here at Darlington. That was one fast Ford she had underneath the hood here today, and as she started from the pole and gets the win here today, her 2nd Southern 500 win in a row. But what a fight from Dylan Young, Zachary Fitzwater, Phil Parker, and Jordan Lopez. 2, 3, 4, 5 down on the rundown. Average speed 174.122 miles per hour. That's the average. 6th place will go to Seth Cole. 7th will go to Dylan Poteet. Zach Winkle was 8th. 9th is Michael Whitman, and Becca Tellier will end up in the 10th position. So 26 races are in the books, and as championship leader Jessica Shelton helps herself in her quest for her 4th championship. Rest of the field rundown for you here. Kyle Matthews ready to bounce back for 11th place. A great day for him. Ryan Kazee 12th. 13th will go to Patrick Smith. Keith Batson 14th. So he helps himself a little bit in the points as well. Johnny Gardner will end up 15th. 16th to Chelsea Bowles. 17th Charles Sanford, Ashlyn Boyd, Tony Newman, and Joshua Sakuli will finish in the top 20. 21st on back, Zed Weinstein, who was in the top 10 for much of this race. He drops back to 21st. Ryan Winters, Jonathan Zorlin, Alexander Rowe, Jesse Turner, Paul Minnick, Emmanuel Hartnett, Kev Shear, Quentin Moore, and Joshua Collard, the top 30 in today's event. And the rest of the field rundown for you: Jason Haywood, Kyle Langland, Ryan George, Trent Dunham, Kat Tellier, another horrible run for her in 35th. Mike Becker, Joshua Osborne just flat missed the setup on that car. Max Anderson, Cole Bieber really missed the setup to 39th. Not the typical black number 3 style at Darlington, that's for sure. And the only car out of the race is William Brock. He will finish in 40th position after a valve problem early in the race. But Jessica Shelton gets her second Southern 500 victory in a row in her home track of Darlington, as she, as the native of South Carolina, does it again here today. As we'll go to Richmond International Raceway next on the tour for the running of the Toyota Care 400. If you like what you see here, be sure to subscribe to the NNSCRA Sports and Gaming channel. We got everything on this channel in our races, gaming videos, whatever the president of the NNSCRA Seth Cole desires for this channel. And be sure to check out Seth's series as well. Be sure to check out Seth's Texas Truck Series, Pizza Hut X Series, and Hershey's Cup Series. Be sure to check his series out. You will not regret it. His races are some of the best you'll see on YouTube, and I'm not just saying that too. And guarantee his races are a whole heck of a lot better than what I have to offer. No question about it. So Richmond's next race on the tour for the Toyota Care 400. And for now, this is James Qualls. This is a production in the NNSCRA. Offline racing at its best.